Welcome to Bay Area Sports Report. My name is Rady, and today I will be giving my San Francisco 49ers overview. So the 49ers have done a lot of moves this past offseason. As the 49ers so far, they are now in kind of a competitive division a little, as the 49ers are in a bit of a competitive division against the Seahawks and the Rams, and still after all the injuries that they had so far, through all the injuries they had, especially so many injuries, like a lot of injuries back then. So as you can see from pretty much everything, like so many injuries back then, but they were able to still win. As you can see here, through 2025, they were able to still get 12-5 from the record, as they have been very impressive in this season so far. I think it is a big accomplishment for the 49ers as a team without a lot of injuries. George Kittle being out for a couple of games, Brock Purdy, Christian McCaffrey was a little injured, Jake Tonjes was injured, Fred Warner was injured, Nick Bosa was injured, and they still won 12-5 games. Like, that is just so impressive. I have to admit that. I really thought that we were going to collapse with Mac Jones as soon as we got to New Orleans, and I was like, we're going to lose, aren't we? But then the 49ers just surprised me, and they were able to get some wins, especially big wins against the Rams, sometimes against big win against Seattle, and they've beaten these teams before. Like, sure, it is different now for the Rams, but I think that I think as they did stop Aaron Donald, and I'm seeing lots of rumors of Aaron Donald, but if the Niners can somehow conquer Aaron Donald, and trust me, Aaron Donald is like a defensive tackle. If they can somehow handle Aaron Donald, then I think they can handle Myles Garrett. We'll see if Aaron Donald thing is actually true, as there's a video of him in pads in the Rams practice. We'll see if this is actually true. I don't think it is, but we'll have to see. I don't think it's true in my view, but if it is, then I am a teeny bit worried, especially with the guard position, Robert Jones especially, but I mean, he is, but I think it's okay so far as we will get to the rosters. But I think overall, I don't think Aaron Donald is coming back. I think it will be fine, but if he does come back, I still believe in Pooney. I think Robert Jones is a solid left guard. I think Jake Brendel is solid for most of the time. So I think the interior should be fine. I think it'll be better. So I think they'll be okay in my view. Sorry that I'm saying I think. It's just I just know that they'll be fine because they have a good offensive line. I think Robert Jones will be good. Jake Brendel has been a solid center. I mean, sure, he has been inconsistent, and trust me, I don't like him either. But he's been solid in my view. Dominic Pooney, very good rook, very good. He did have a slump a little, but that was mostly because of injuries again. But overall, I think we're gonna be fine. Next, so I want to talk about the draft and offseason, as the biggest signing is Mike Evans. And when I saw this, I was so happy when we signed Mike Evans. At first, when I saw Patrick Taylor on that 1 year deal, I'm like, we're starting off with that, huh? And then I saw Eddie Pinheiro for a deal, and then I was like, yes. And ever since I started watching football, Mike Evans has been one of my favorite receivers and favorite players other than 49ers players. He's been one of my favorite players of all time, along with Fred, Dre, probably CMC, Purdy, Kittle, and then some other players like Navarro Bowman, Deshaun Goldstein, Dante Whitner, Justin Smith, Joe Montana, Jerry Rice, some of those guys like I really liked. But Mike Evans was one of the players that I have respect for. And ever since then, I've always wanted him on the 49ers ever since. and now we got him. Look, there is some concern about him being of age, but he's been so dominant so far. As I can just bring it up on his stats so far. He has been such a solid receiver. He's been having so many 1,000 yards for so far. Even Dak back in his like rookie year, 1,000 yards and 12 touchdowns, 1,000 yards and 3, 1,000 yards and 12, and so on. He's been just such a great player for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think he is a great player. He's gonna help this team. He's a physical receiver. And best of all, he's that X receiver option. I think he's gonna be such a great player. I think he'll be that X receiver. There's also Christian Kirk. He's a solid receiver. He has had some up and downs, but he's a solid receiver from the slot. He's gonna be kind of like that third down option for you, along with Jake Tonjes, and we'll get to Kittle later. But and he's gonna be those. He's gonna be a great option for Purdy. So I love Christian Kirk. He's a very fast guy. He's a veteran. I like this, and I think this is an underrated signing. Cameron Sample, a solid edge rusher. Vidarian Lowe is a very good swing tackle. Brett Toth is a versatile guy. Biggest signing is, but the next other big signing is Trent Williams to a two-year deal, and that's huge, especially on how solid he is of entering age 38 this season, I think. And he's going to be, after he's 39 years old, he's going to retire after that, so I think that is great. The underrated signing is Dre Greenlaw, and I know he's been injured, but if Dre Greenlaw can come back to being the same player he was in 2023, I'll take it. He's been such a dog. I've loved Dre Greenlaw. He's been one of my favorite players of all time. I mean, I think him with Fred is kind of like, to be truthful with you, Patrick Willis and NaVorro Bowman, because Patrick Willis and Fred, those guys were leaders. They were captains. They led the group. They gave pep talks. They were energetic. Dre Greenlaw and the Bowman, those guys were tough, physical guys who can and play solid coverage. That's why I love Fred and Dre, even back then when I was like 2019, and I saw them hitting guys. I was so inspired. Next is Osa Odigizua, and I love this trade for Osa. He's in his last PFF grades. He's been having solid pass rushes. He's been getting a lot of pressures. He's been getting a lot of QB hits. And hey, they're not sacks, but I will take it because we need at least some pressure from the D line. Because other than Fred Warner, who kind of allows some pressure in some of those blitzes, there wasn't exactly anyone in the middle. So I think it'll fit well with Alfred Collins, CJ West, Grayson Halton, and more Sebastian Valdez. And I think it's a great trade for the 49ers. I think it was worth it in my view. I was a little bit skeptical, but I think this was a great signing overall, and I think it's good. Robert Jones is a bit interesting. I think it's kind of an interesting deal. He does have a chance to be a starter, and I don't mind it, but I would love to see rookie Carver Willis, like I said in my last 53-man roster, or maybe give Connor Colby a second chance to see. But if they want to stay with Robert Jones and be like that Ben Barch thing, I won't mind, because Ben Barch was at least a solid guy until he got injured. The CB group is actually very good with Nate Hobbs and Jack Jones. Those guys have been solid quarterbacks, and I think they'll help in special teams. I think having those guys be veterans there for Upton Stout and Renardo Green and sometimes Deandre Lorne, I think having them as veterans is very important. I think Jack Jones and Nate Hobbs have been solid cornerbacks for a couple of teams, especially they were teammates with the Raiders, and I think it was great. So, and then some special teams players also, like Luke Gifford and Patrick Taylor's also kind of a special teams guy, you could say. John Weeks, they signed Eddie Pinheiro, who's been a solid player. So, yeah, but next is the draft picks. And I said that Dijon Strickland was like Debo and Juwan Jennings. The reason why I said that was because he is kind of like Debo because he's physical. He's also physical just like Jennings. He's fast. He can separate. He's been very good. His size, length, athleticism, experience, route running is a bit interesting. It's not exactly sometimes the best at times. Like physical, he is physical. His age is kind of a concern. Release package like can't it's not exactly fast. He's very good player. Does struggle with physical and handsy corners, but other than that, I love this pick for the 49ers. I think he's such a great player for this Niners team, especially the blocking, which Shanahan loves. And I think he will do very well in this 49ers system, learning from, and he won't have to take a lot of the pressure because I feel like they're just going to stick with, as much as I would want Stripling, like I said in my first thing, I don't think it's going to happen. I feel like they're just going to stick with Demarcus Robinson or Christian Kirk, and I won't mind that. I mean, they are solid slot receivers, and I won't mind it, so. Next is Romello Height. He is a great edge rusher, length, fiery, explosive, athletic, has some good pass rush tools. He is a bit older, but I think he that is good. You have experience, and I think with experience through football, it'll give you like more sacks. I think it's a great draft pick. I think he's going to be a good edge rusher, especially after Bryce Huff kind of left. He was that speed rusher, and Romello is that speed rusher for them. So I think this is a great pick for Romello Height. I think it is a great pick for them, and I think he's going to be a good speed rusher. Kalen Black, I didn't like this pick, as I said earlier. I was a bit skeptical, but I did give it time, and I am giving him a chance. I mean, sure, he's not the best, but he did have 1,039 yards, 10 rushing touchdowns. He has some receiving. I think he is gonna be an interesting player. I think he will be he's kind of like Jordan Mason a little, where people are kind of like skeptical about him or kind of like don't think he's going to be a good player, but he turned out to be good. He is kind of like Mason in my view, and I think I think people doubting him will make him better. So I think he's going to be a solid rotational guy. We'll see how he pans out. So we'll just have to see. I love one of the two underrated draft picks. One of them is Grayson Holton. I love this pick for the 49ers. Grayson Holton, he is short, but he is good. He's good at pass rush, good speed, good agility, good feet, good hand usage. I think he's just such a great player. He is going to be that good run stuffer and he doesn't have to worry about that because he's going to be behind Osa and Alfred Collins. He's also going to be behind CJ West, and then I have Grayson Holton there with him. So I think it is a great. I think this is a great signing for pick for the 49ers, and I love this pick for Grayson Holton. He's been one of my favorite picks. Carver Willis is an interesting one. I think he's more that backup left guard, and then maybe year or two he could be something, but we'll see. We'll see how this goes. Ephesians Prysock, I love this. I love this one. He is a great cornerback. He's long. He's a very good player. A lot of people are comparing him to Richard Sherman, which is a bit overboard, but I love this signing for this team. I love it for Ephesians Prysock. He's physical. He's tough. If he can lock down some receivers like Cowing and Watkins and maybe Ricky Pearsall, I don't know if he can shut down Mike Evans because he's been a veteran for years. So I don't know if he can do that. But if he can shut down some of those guys in training camp, then I think he's going to be a great player. Next is Jada Duggar. He's a good linebacker. Very good. He might be a rough gem. Ryan Baldinger loves this pick for the 49ers. And he's one of the good players with good coverage, very good at run defense. So I think with more development and more time, I think he could turn out to be good something. But for now, special teams. And then Enriquez Cruz Jr. I think with more time and development, then I think he should be fine. Maybe I think this is kind of a backup to Colton McKissick because after this year, there's going to be 2 more years on his deal, Colton McKissick. He is starting to get older, so maybe after developing Enriquez Cruz Jr., then maybe they're confident in him. So we'll see on that. And then for the depth chart overall, Brock Purdy, I think he's gonna have a great season. So I think he's gonna be back to being who he was back then. Christian McCaffrey is gonna be good. There is Jordan James right now. We'll see how he does and turns out. Mike Evans. You have Ricky Pearsall, Christian Kirk. Ricky Pearsall, he has to stay healthy now. Like I'm I'm so he needs to stay healthy, Ricky Pearsall, because he hasn't been healthy for the last 3 seasons, but we saw glimpses of him, so this is the time for him to step up. The offensive line, like I highlighted, I think Robert Jones or Connor Colby or Carver Willis, we'll have to see who wins that competition, but I'm fine with either one as long as they do protect my quarterback and do good at run blocking. That's all I need. Jake Brendel, he better step up, but who knows? Maybe I'll just let him walk because he's getting older. So, as for the defense, like I said, you have Eminem, you have like Alfred Collins, you have Osa, you have CJ West, you have Grayson Halton. Like that's a good starting four for defensive tackles. As for edges, Nick Bosa, he's coming off an ACL, but he's saying that he's better, but we'll see. Then you have Michael Williams, you have Samuel Guano, Romello Height, Keon White. I think Michael will probably be an IR, like I said, because he's probably going to be there. So it's probably going to be Nick, Romello, Keon, and then Cameron Sample and Samo. And then, so it's a solid D-line group in my view. Drake Greenlaw and Fred Warner, they're still going to be the best they are. Luke Gifford, Tatum Bethune, Jaden Duggar, and Nick Martin. I see potential in those guys becoming starters, but I think they just need to develop a bit more. As for cornerbacks right now, I love Upton Stout. I think he's going to be a big breakout candidate. He's one of a lot of people think he's going to be breaking out, and I think they're right on that because he's one of a good quarterbacks in my view. He did so well, and so I think he's going to be a great player for the 49ers. He's going to have a long, good career in him. Deontay Norton and Ronald Green. Ronald Green, I think he needs to step up a bit more. I think maybe get more picks. Do that probably for a start. And then the safety group, I really don't like it, to be truthful. I'm confident in Malik Mustafa, even though he gives up 113 rating for QBs, but I think he just needs to learn. I think you need that guy with speed and energy. As for Jair Brown, I really don't like what Jair Brown did last season. I know he had a lot of picks, but he didn't do good in coverage. So I'm looking at Ashton Davis or Marquis Siegel or Jalen Strowman as guys who could replace him. But hey, I mean, who knows? Maybe they'll up Jair Brown and do good. He'll do good, and then we'll just trade him for someone else. Because as for trade candidates, I see Mac Jones going because he wants to be a starter one day, but he is happy right now. But if they're confident Curtis Rourke and then they could just run with Adrian Martinez as just the third quarterback, then maybe they'll trade Mac Jones. They're looking at Jordan James as also. Brandon Ayuk, as usual, wants to be traded, but I don't know if there's any trade value. Unless you could trade package him with Jordan James or Mac Jones or Jair Brown or something like that. I could see Jair Brown being a trade candidate, kind of, as a 1-year contract and trade him for a safety. I could see them trade packaging Jair Brown and maybe Brandon Ayuk for someone, possibly. Maybe for a safety. And then I could see Matt Jones and Jordan James, and then they could just stick with Caleb Black and Isaac Guerrero. But Guerrero hasn't been stayed healthy, so yeah. But overall, and then for the schedule, I think this Niners team is an underrated Super Bowl candidate. They do have a number 1 in cap space. I've spoke a lot about targets. I talked about Jesse Bates as being a target. I talked about Max Crosby. I talked about Joey Bosa signing or Alex Highsmith. There aren't a lot of good safeties and trades. I'll have to see if there are, but um overall, I'm really excited about this team. I feel like they're going to have a good record, as I said in my previous video on my 49ers record prediction. So we'll see how this goes. I think as long as they can stay healthy and they can do good and they can protect the quarterback and have a good run game, I think the Niners are back in business. So this is Bay Area Sports Report, signing off.